today we're going to take a deeper look into what's inside a cell. Specifically, what we're interested in is the DNA, which, just like humans, plants and animals have DNA, and that's like their instruction book on how to make body parts and how to grow and how to reproduce. We want to actually see the DNA. Humans have 2 copies of every gene. Strawberries have 8, so there's a lot more DNA in their cells. So we're going to take one and we're going to get to the DNA. So the first thing you got to do is you got to destroy the cell wall so that you can get to the DNA, because the DNA has several layers of protection around it. So we're going to mash this up, break up the cell wall. All right, we're going to add a little bit of water just to make it easier, because we're going to mix some stuff. Okay, so right now we have exposed the inside of the cell underneath the cell wall. You take this off, you've got the rest of the cell, which has a lot of parts. And the next part we have to break through is the plasma membrane, which is basically made of an oily substance. So what breaks down oily substances? Soap. And now what we're breaking down is the plasma membrane. So we're going to mix that up. Okay, so now we have gone through the cell wall, we are through the cell membrane, and now what we need to do is, since we have gone through the plasma membrane, we've also gone through the nuclear membrane. And that is where the DNA stays, because the DNA has to be protected. If we don't work fast, this DNA is going to get chopped up and we won't be able to see it. So we're going to chop up the protein. DNA is nucleic acid wrapped around protein. So when you see a chromosome, what that is, and usually you see them represented by a little X, what this is actually the DNA wrapped around a protein. So what we're going to do is we're going to destroy this protein so that we can get the DNA by itself. So that's what we're using meat tenderizer for. We're going to destroy the protein. So now in here we have loose DNA. We want to separate out all the chunks and get to the DNA. So we're going to add some salt. DNA does not dissolve in salt water, but all this other stuff does. So what we're doing is making it so that the DNA will stay out of solution and will be loose so we can strain it and see it. So what we're going to do, we are going to strain the DNA. Okay, so now we're down to strawberry juice with loose DNA in it, and we're going to separate the DNA out from this. So I'm going to pour it into a clear cup so that it'll be easier to visualize. All right, now, DNA is not soluble in salt water, so it's floating around in chunks that we could see if we had really tiny eyes. All right, everything else you put in there, soap, meat tenderizer, it is soluble in salt water. So we want to put something else on there so that the DNA will get away from the water and we can see it by itself. So we're going to use really cold rubbing alcohol. Alcohol and water will mix, and you don't want that to happen. So we're going to go slowly so that we can have a separate layer of just alcohol, and that will be where the DNA shows up. So I'm going to slowly pour it at an angle. There's a layer of alcohol, and then there's all the strawberry stuff, but you can see this pink looking goo, and that is the DNA of the strawberry. Now after a few minutes, when a little bit more of it shows up, we can scoop it out and actually see the glob of DNA. So now what we have, this is the actual lots and lots of DNA out of that one strawberry. Now it's hard to think that this all fits in strawberry, but your cells have lots and lots and lots of feet of DNA in each one, and that's why it curls up into those chromosomes, so it doesn't take up that much space. But when you take it out and look at it, there's a lot to it. And this is what makes a strawberry a strawberry.
We hope you enjoyed this video as part of our Oklahoma Gardening YouTube channel. You can also find even more videos on the OK Gardening Classics YouTube channel. And join us on social media for great gardening tips, photos, and discussion.